Hello, hello. Welcome to the first official Katana Community Outreach. I'm Billy Jitsu, your favorite DevRel for every chain, to be honest. And definitely want to introduce our community managers. These are the guys that you're bugging in the Discord or on the socials. I'm going to go ahead and start with Praetor first, since he's our mysterious samurai. But go for it, Praetor. Just do a quick intro, and then we'll get over to our next guy.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. Thanks everyone who joined the space. I'm really happy to be here to talk about Katana, answer your questions. I'm Prater. You might have seen me on Katana Discord responding to some of your DeFi questions. So I'm really happy to be involved with Katana because my background is in DeFi and yield farming. So there's a perfect match with my background and the purpose-specific chain that is specifically designed for DeFi. So I'm really happy to be here, really happy to discuss all the updates on Katana we have, because the next 2 months are going to be really big for Katana. So good to be here. Really looking forward to our discussion today.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. 2 months, the next 2 months are going to be pretty intense. And then I didn't have this on my bingo card for 2025, calling another man big boy, but here I am. Big boy, go for it.
Man, you know what? If I had $1 for every time I got something like that on a Twitter space or on a live stream, man, I would be rich, bro. I would be throwing all of that into the Yearn vaults, and I'd be collecting some yield on that. No, man, it's you could call me Eric if you'd like. I'm I go by Big Boy on Twitter since I started. I even when I first started, I didn't know like Prater down here, keeping that Anon vibe. I just straight up came out here and I was just vibing. So I think it's fitting that I'm out here and working with the community, because that's just me, brother. I love community. Been vibing out here since 2021. When I first started, I didn't know I was gonna be working for Katana. Smokey, he had hit me up. We were talking about doing some community work for Polygon. So DeFi isn't my strong suit. I've been learning a lot about DeFi, more on the community side, more on the NFT side of things. That's what brought me into the space, was NFTs. I'm a big collector, so like seeing things, seeing like a digital aspect of the digital collecting was super cool. But now DeFi has really taught me a lot. It was one of those things that was super scary before, just coming from like the Web 2 side of things. But now we're out here rocking with the community. Excited to talk about Katana. Excited about the NFT. Yeah, man, just happy to be here. So thanks for having me, brother.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to do a little intro about myself too. Again, if you guys are watching and you have any questions, comments, or anything, say, Billy, you suck, go ahead and throw them on the chat. It's A-okay. But yeah, I'm a major DeFi guy. So when I first discovered Katana, I was actually hit up by the DevRel at Polygon, Maddie, and I used to work at API 3, so DeFi was like my game for a while. We were doing oracles, borrow lending. I was teaching like a searcher series, how to do liquidations, how to find those opportunities. So I was in the trenches of like DeFi and on all that, and like watching price flows and like where people actually make money. And I was doing a lot of this interesting stuff on Morpho, watching your positions, saving yourself from liquidations. And I did some like Telegram tutorial of like when your position hits a certain help point, it saves. And then like that actually worked. Like it actually worked when it happened. Like the market was falling. I was like, oh, and then my script paid a little bit of that back and it saved my position. And I kind of shared that on Twitter. And people, hey, check out Katana. I was like, what is this? And so I was like, oh, this is kind of like a very DeFi focused type of thing. It's built on Morpho. It's built like specific, like opinionated. And so I had talked to the team for a while. And as crazy as it sounds, originally when they were like, hey, we need a dev role, I talked to the team. I really vibe with them. And then I said, no, I'm like, I'm good. And then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, man, maybe not so good. And then I actually reached out to the team again. I was like, hey, did you guys fill the position? And they were like, no, we're still looking for someone that is really DeFi focused. And so I ended up joining the team in October. And it's been a grind since, man. There's like so much to do on there. Like a lot of things in the back end. And like what I want to come out with coming in January is kind of like a DeFi focused series. Like just like you're interested in DeFi, but you kind of don't know where to start, right? It's like you're learning to drive, and I put you into like an airplane cockpit and you're like, what do I do? Right? Like there's just too many things happening at the same time, too many optimizers, like too many choices. So what I want to do is kind of like show people how it works. It's not so scary once I show you the ropes, and then you know, get people up and running. So that's a little bit of alpha for next year. In January, we're going to be doing a specific DeFi series where you can either watch me make money or you can watch me lose money. And then I start creating these positions on there. But yeah, and then yeah, Bunny's throwing some shout outs to you, big boy.
Hey, Bunny.
Yeah. G Katana is so weird for me. I'm going to say that out loud. I'm going to go on the record here. I rather do GCat because that's too many syllables, right? GCat, that's way for me. But Katana, I know we're promoting Katana and all that, but GCat just sounds smoother to me. Anyways, so yeah, I'm like kind of curious of like, you know, I know you said why you joined Katana, you know, more of a community-based type of system. Praetor's more like a DeFi focused system. Like, what was that major draw other than like we were hiring, right? Like they were hiring, I want to get a job, I want to get paid. But like, was there anything specifically about Katana that like just kind of like was like, oh, this is interesting, I want to just join the team?
Yeah, I can go ahead. I would say there are 3 reasons why Katana was attractive for me. First of all, obviously the background match. We have so many L2s. People just launch chains that do the same exact thing, just a general purpose L2. But now you have a specific purpose L2 designed specifically for DeFi. And I was yield farming and looking for opportunities in any ways that this project was genuinely interested for me. So I was like, okay, if I can get involved in this, it can be interesting, but let me actually check who they are. And turns out they have like big backers. One is Polygon Labs, and they've been in this space for like 8 years, which says a lot. And they're still here, and they're like biggest chain for payments, still growing. And then GSR, which is the big liquidity provider, and on anything DeFi, liquidity is everything. So they have an interesting project. They have like great backers. And they had a great vision. I really like the tweets from Mark of having this everything consumer app when you have on-ramp, off-ramp, your balances, all the protocols in one space. So you don't have to juggle between tabs. You don't have to go look for the link for sushi, Google it, and then think about it. Oh, is this link legit or not? Let me go to their Twitter and find the link from there. And if you want to rebalance your position, if you want to close a loop, usually in DeFi, you have to go between a lot of tabs, a lot of links, and it takes like 10, 15 minutes every day. But the vision of Katana is to have everything in one place, all your wallet data, all your positions, your portfolio, easy on-ramp, off-ramp. And I just like that vision because that's kind of the important step for onboarding more people and kind of the final end game of crypto, I think, to have a more user-friendly UI. So altogether, the background match, the good backers, and the vision combined made like it like a no-brainer. If there's a way to get involved with Katana, I'm like, sure, why not? Like that was basically my vision of getting involved with Katana. And I'm curious to hear Eric, because our situations are completely different.
Yeah.
I was really far away from community. Like in the beginning of this year, I had like 40 followers. I wasn't posting at all. I just started posting this year, posting about my yield farms, my strategies, some shit posting, and grew a following. And it was something very new for me because my background is in DeFi. And Eric is in the opposite boat. He's like a very social media heavy guy, recording videos, etc., but no DeFi background. And now he's learning DeFi thanks to Katana. So curious to hear his story as well.
Yeah. And before we get to Eric, actually, if you don't understand these terms like rebalancing and looping and all that, that's going to come in the DeFi series, right? Like you're like, what is this crazy talk? Like DeFi guys just say that like normal lingo, right? But it's like looping. What the heck is looping? It's like, I just want to put my stables and earn some yield, right? That's most people want to do it. But go for it, Eric. Give it a shot.
Yeah, no, I was like, you know what, I wanted to come straight in after that because like me, I mean, I kind of talked about it in my intro. I didn't know about Katana. I mean, I heard it. So I heard it at Art Basel in 2024, like a little bit. And I wasn't supposed to hear it. Like I heard something and they're like, no, you got to go. You got to get out of this room. Like right now, we're going to be talking about something. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, it's some of the Polygon team. And, you know, I forgot about that. Completely forgot about it. It was like, oh, I didn't even remember the word Katana. I just knew there was something that I was not supposed to hear. had to get out of the room. That's cool. Smokey just approached me. He's like, "You want to do some community work for Polygon?" And I said, "Yes, brother." Because like Prater was saying, I I had been vibing out in the Polygon community for a little bit out here, collecting some NFTs. There was one NFT project that I wrote very hard for, and unfortunately, it's not around anymore. I think we all kind of go through things like that, and I think I was just excited to do some community work with Polygon. That was my big thing. I just wanted to get some, just do some community work, see what we can do. And Katana came about, and I was legit Smokey. He had told me, he's like, "I know you're not, DeFi is not your forte." And I'm like, "No, no, it's not, Smokey. It's NFTs, community, Twitter Spaces." And he's like, "Don't worry, like you're gonna learn about this. You're gonna learn about this. You're gonna, develop some new skills." And man, have I told, if I can tell you, like, this has been such a fun journey. I didn't know what looping was before, man. I didn't know like any of this. I just did my first loop like I'd say 2 months ago. Was I scared doing it? Yes. Yes, I was, bro. I didn't want to lose no money. I didn't know anything about it. But Katana's really showed me just ways to use my money. I was just burning money on NFTs, meme coins, and just being able to put my funds in a place where I can earn some yield, some cash there, and where it's where it's giving me something back other than just burning things. It's been a fun adventure, man. But yeah, like Prater's the brains over here. Like I remember when we first started, I was hitting them up like, "Hey man, can I get some help with this? I need some I guess some better understanding with different things." And he's the man. He's the man. He helped me out a lot. So big shout out to Prater for this.
Yeah,
definitely.
Eric's is a really fast learner. Is like, considering he didn't have a lot of background, he was learning all those complicated DeFi stuff with doing everything with his hands. And yeah, it was good to see that people have this interest thanks to Katana, including community people, and they're actually learning all this DeFi stuff. They're no longer aping into some meme coins or NFTs, but they actually deploy their capital into efficient yield bearing strategies and earn yield without some crazy aping. And they learn how the capital can be productive, earn like 10-20% yield annually. And it's just good to see that thanks to Katana, people are learning all these DeFi primitives. And that's one of the things I like about Katana as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Katana, and hopefully as we start building up more of a series, it's like Katana becomes the place you learn to DeFi, and where ultimately, theoretically, is like where we're going to earn the best yields, regardless where it is, because of the vault bridge and everything. Like, it's crazy that sounds. The number one interesting thing about Katana was the whole name, right? Like, for those that don't know, I'm a lifelong martial artist, hence the name Billy Jitsu, right? Like, so for a long time, I did like traditional martial arts. So for a little bit, I actually did some sword stuff with kendo and all that stuff. But
That's dope.
yeah,
That is
and I
cool,
still
bro.
train to today. Yeah, I used to do a lot of MMA. I did jiu-jitsu for like over a decade. Did Muay Thai. I can throw hands, guys. I can throw hands. But I still like train and I teach today. To this day, like every so often, like I think it's one of my crazy outings that I do that clears my mind. Everybody's like I think a victim to something, like they're a slave to something. So I guess mine is kind of positive in a sense. So when I'm stuck on code or I'm stuck on something, I go clear my mind. You're not thinking about code when someone's choking you. You're just trying to breathe, right? So it's one of those things that help me clear my mind. So like the whole martial arts and like that kind of theme to the chain was like my original draw. I was like, okay, and it's DeFi. I mean, I was like built for this, right? So it ultimately became that thing. And so like when I was looking really into it, I'm like 40% APY on stables. I'm like, is it legit or not? And then as I started looking into it, because we've been so traumatized, we've seen all these crazy like high APYs and they rug you, right? Like, oh man, you got to get in, you got to get out. These things don't last. And the way this thing was designed, it was like, okay, while 40% may not last forever, there's a system here that actually designs to have a better yield than any other chain theoretically on here. So like once we see this flywheel go take off, you're going to see, whether it's 1 or 2 points or 5 more points, you're going to earn yield. And me, I'm pretty conservative. I'm a conservative. I hate losing money. It's my number one thing. So as me as a strategist, I'm like, I want to take risks. So I take the risks with the yield that I earn. So I didn't have to put in the work. I didn't have to work 40 hours a week and then drop it in NFT and then just see it go to zero. I can use that same money, earn that yield, and with the yield, then buy something, take some more risks. And then if it does go to zero, it doesn't hurt as much. So like that's kind of my kind of like DeFi strategy of like just using the money that I earned without having to work for it and then play with it. And if it takes off, amazing. If it doesn't hurt as bad. So, you know, we all kind of come from like different ways and different strategies. Some people are like, let me ape in 100%, loop 16 times to like get 70% APY. And that I'm a little bit more conservative. I like to play it safe. You know, some people have that money to burn, some people don't. So like creating these kind of different scenarios and these different options in Katana is ultimately the goal that I want to do with the series. I would love to have you on stream to like show me like where you're at, how you're comfortable, and ultimately let's make money together or lose money together, however we do it on there. But yeah, but coming back to like the whole NFT thing, there is going to be an NFT project coming onto Katana fairly soon. And I'm going to pass it to Eric to just kind of talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about that one. I think a lot of people have been like rallying for an NFT project on Katana. I think it just gives people like a sense of community. I feel you know, something to rep, something to like right now, of course, it's like a DeFi focused chain, and people just want that sense of community. I feel like already we have a good core community going on. But then once you have something to rep, I mean, you've seen it, all these different NFT projects out here. People switch their PFP, then you start having different community spaces. Then you even have like separate communities within that community because of different traits. It just becomes like this. What's the word that I'm looking for? I'm losing my thought on the word there, but it's just it gives people something to rep. It gives people a sense of community already. So I'm excited for that. I wish I could, you know, I was asking you, can we share some art today? I don't know.
No.
That's one of my biggest things right now. I mean, I think I've told you before is that, you know, people have been asking me about the art and things of that sort. And yeah, I'm like, can we show some art today? But yeah, you know,
I haven't even seen all the art. So like I've just been seeing previews. I see the shadow of something. The preview, like the video is like is new to me. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the Deborah. Like, how do I not know like where the art is? But yeah, it's pretty like low key for a lot of it. I just know there's gonna be a lot of homages to a lot of things to like the theme of Katana, right? It's a martial arts theme. There's samurai kind of style. So that's what I'm getting. Obviously, there's a cat because Katana is in cat. So there's something in that realm, and there's going to be a lot of homages to a lot of like subcultures and everything on there. So yeah. I mean, yeah, that's very interesting, right? Ilias is kind of throwing that to get on the whitelist, and we'll kind of get that in a little bit to see how that's going to work out. But yeah, I mean, I'm again, like I feel like I'm in both sides of the world. Like I'm a major DeFi guy, so I'm all about APY. I'm all about numbers. Does it make sense to put my money in this? Is this going to give me a return? On the other side, I got sucked into the Pudgy Penguin kind of NFT community, and like the vibe with them is this just like so like day and night, right? Like whether the floor is up and down, like people just come together and they vibe, and it's a very welcoming experience. And that is something that I would love to have this kind of like weird mesh with, where like DeFi meets community, right? Because like when I'm doing DeFi, I'm like, I got my hood on. I'm like, all right, where can I maximize my APY? I don't want to tell anybody about it because I don't want to like basically dilute my APY. And then the other side of the world, the NFT community is like, hey, check out my new thing. Like, check out this opportunity. So it's very like interesting to see how it's going to work. And I feel like this is a good time for NFT guys or general community members to learn how to DeFi, because it's going to be a very simple step. Because this is, and I think I can share this, is like one of the NFTs that will actually earn you some yield. So it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to like approach that, because let's say this thing is, I don't know, $100, $200. I really don't know the min price of it, but let's say you put $100 and it earns you yield over a year. Let's say it makes you $50 over the year, just because that's what it makes. These are not real numbers. I'm just making it. But in 2 years, you would have made your money back, you know, regardless of the floor, regardless of anything. And then in 3 years, you would have made money, whether you traded it or not, like just by holding it. And I think that's going to be a very, very new concept for a lot of people in NFT that usually ride to zero and become community members for life, right?
At me next time, bro. That's me all the time. That's why I'm excited about it as well, because it's like I've been used to staking my NFT for basically nothing. a
Right.
coin that's non-existent that never comes out to TGE, you know. So that's another reason why I'm excited about it too, to see that DeFi aspect.
Yeah, yeah, and I think this is going to be a good opportunity for people that, again, like again, coming back to like teasing the DeFi series, like when you start seeing USDC, you're like, all right, I got USDC, and then you start seeing VB USDC, and then you start seeing YVBB USDC, and then you start seeing all these alphabets, the entire alphabet in front of USDC. It freaks people out, and people really get confused, and they don't know what to do. But if you have this NFT with your picture, and I just have to put it somewhere, and it makes money, I think a lot of people are going to kind of catch on to this. And like, wait a minute, if I can do this with an NFT, imagine what I can do with all these idle assets that are sitting in my wallet. Then, you know, that could open up a lot of different opportunities on there. And then as a developer, like, all right, what kind of markets can I make off NFTs where that earns yield, right? So like, there's going to be a lot of opportunity of things to build. And there's going to be a lot of really cool things about like, there's going to be interesting like NFT adjustments to this. This is not just like a render ERC 721. This is going to be a new token standard that's going to be kind of interchangeable. So there's a lot of things that will be coming up here. We're not going to do anything basic, right? As just a simple drop. There's going to be a little bit more to it on there. But coming back to that whitelist, I don't quote me. I'm not 100% sure. Justin may kill me, but Ruby points, right? That is something that might get you on the waitlist. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, guys.
Yeah, that's something that is confirmed. And basically, you go there, you do some on-chain tasks. It can be a liquidity provision for Sushi, doing LP on Spectra, having X amount of balance on Katana, and different tasks for different badges. And basically, the more badges you collect, the more chances you have for a whitelist. But if you collect 4 badges, which is not hard to do at all, you already can mint Katana ID. And I feel like that's if you do that, it already puts you in a pretty good position for a whitelist. I'm not sure if teams shared all the whitelist criteria besides the badges, but we have a Telegram channel where you can submit your wallet, your socials, and based on your on-chain activity, your social contribution, you might be eligible for the whitelist. So that's one of the main funnels to submit your data and get the whitelist. Team will also do retroactive checking of your activity on Katana and give some whitelist based on that. And I feel like I might be talking too much, so I'll pass the mic to Eric to hear about his thoughts and what he can share about the whitelist.
That's the whole reason to watch. This is the alpha right here, right? Like if you're not watching, you don't get the alpha. Go for it, Eric.
Yeah, no, he was on point with that. I mean, we have I had just made a video about a month ago with like probably three simple steps, right? Just being active in Katana. There's that Telegram chat that you can get into. I mean, Prater, I think you pretty much covered everything right now that we know that can boost our whitelist chances, right? So just being active out there, man, being active on the chain, submitting that wallet that's active on the chain. The Ruby score, those badges have been fun. Like I like collecting those badges. I think I'm on badge 13 now. I think it was, or there's a new one, I think, because I collected the last one, which was 12. I believe that was like buying 100 on Foresight, $100 on Foresight. There might be a 13th one. Prater, I think I saw you unmute there.
Yeah, there's a new one too.
Okay.
But it's not a requirement to have like all the badges to be eligible for the whitelist. The more you have, the more competitive your wallet will be, considering all your stats. But yeah, you don't have to go and kill yourself for all the badges. Just try to get as much as you can. But if you're active on Katana, actually, you might be able to claim a lot of badges without doing anything. That was the case for my wallet. I just went there and I was able to claim 7 badges without doing anything because I was naturally active on the chain organically. And also on website, you can see your on-chain stats, like the number of transactions you did, how many days you were active, what's the volume you did, and how do you rank among other users. So, hey, like you are top 1 in volume on Katana chain. You are top 2% in the amount of transactions among all the Katana users. So it's pretty interesting to go there and compare your stats with others, and of course collect the badges and increase your chances for the whitelist. Also, I'm not sure if team shared it or not, but we're gonna have a community allocation too based on the leaderboard of Kaido. So that might be some alpha too that I think we can share with the community.
Yeah, there's going to be a new season coming up, but just really quick, I wanted to let everybody know, if you were curious about the Ruby score, the link is here. Sorry, it was going in and out. There was like a 10-second timer. I'm like, why is it disappearing? I didn't notice on there. So yeah, definitely keep it. And I also shared it in the chat. And just throwing out a little bit of love on here, that we do have a new UI that is for the Katana app. That we're going to get into that on Monday. I'm actually going to have Will, our lead engineer, on the stream. We're going to go over that, of like what the improvements are, what you can do with it so far. So definitely something to check out on Monday. That's a little bit more alpha on there for you. And then also the NFT, it's not, as far as I know, it is not a yield multiplier. It'll actually generate yield on its own. So you don't have to put your own money somewhere and then stake the NFT to get more. If you just buy the NFT, as far as I know right now, today, this December 19th, 2025, if you're going to quote me on stream, is, as far as I know, you just get the NFT and you just stake it, and just doing that action earns you yield over time. And then kind of like rolling it into the Kaito thing for Yaps, I don't know what the threshold is for Yaps on there, and I don't know if we can lower that or not. I don't think any of us here are in charge of that, but just kind of sharing it for screen. If the the people in charge of Kaito want to do that, I don't know. But yeah, I just want to
We
like
don't even
acknowledge
know
the
the
question.
threshold, and Kaido actually doesn't share the threshold, as far as I know. So they have their certain criteria of smart followers, smart interactions, yaps, but they don't disclose the weights for each criteria, or the number of yaps, the number of smart followers. They have different thresholds, but as far as I know, even Kaido doesn't share it. So actually, we don't know. So we can't really
Yeah.
help that in this case.
So
I tell
basically,
people that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
go ahead. I was just gonna say try harder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, that right there, I'm like, people always reach out to me like, oh, what's the threshold? How many smart followers? I don't know either. Like I always tell them I don't know either. I was on the leaderboard the first month, and after that, I wasn't on anymore. I wasn't trying though. I wasn't putting out the content. So it's like, if I don't know how to get on there, you're talking to the wrong person. Maybe Prater knows, but like if you look at Prater's content, it's like it's well thought out. Look at all the top 25 well thought out content, discussing things that they're doing on Katana. I gotta say, I think it just comes down to making really great content about Katana.
Yeah, I want to reflect on the Billy's phrase that you have to try harder, because Katana team is actually very open and friendly, and I've been seeing a lot of smaller accounts posting about Katana, getting engagement from Mark, from
Mm-hmm.
Smokey, from Crypto Jackson, and other people from the Katana team. And then the next day, they're posting, "Hey guys, I earned my first yaps on Kaido thanks to posting about Katana." So actually,
Awesome.
it's one of the easiest projects to get engagement from the team. If you look closely, if you have notifications on like Alex or Mark from Katana team, they're responding to people on Twitter when they have questions, or even on Discord. Like Mark was going on Discord and responding to people's questions or concerns. So it's a pretty open community, and if you make a post that is not like AI generated or some blatant nonsense, I think you can get engagement and score on the leaderboard. So that's a point to mention too. And another thing I wanted to reflect on is Big Boy mentioning the Katana leaderboard. So it might not be as easy to score in top like maybe 15, 20, because we have a lot of good DeFi creators like Pickles Cage, Thrilly, Beauty, No Futuristic, uh, uh, it's Coma, Austin, like, and all of them are posting like great breakdowns. So if you want to learn about DeFi, you can just go to top 25 of Katana leaderboard and just follow everyone there, and
Yeah.
you'll find a lot of looping strategies, uh, LP strategies on Sushi, how to do Spectra and maximize your yield on Katana. So we do have pretty good content on Katana. Some of it might be a bit too comprehensive. So if that's the case for you and you're a newbie, you can wait for the DeFi series of Billy, which are gonna be
There we
more
go.
new user friendly. So it's kind of the thing that I'm proud about, that Katana has this DeFi creator community that they always post yield farming opportunities and guides that you can always follow and find out about the best farming opportunities. So there's enough content to learn from, to try to get a better yield uh, from Katana, and just to come up with your own content by
Yeah.
learning from others.
That's huge. That's huge. I myself have learned from our creators on the leaderboard. I think I used one of Austin's. I think he put out like a looping, like a looping strategy, and I tried it out myself. That's where I was like, you know what? Let me try this. Let me go ahead and get my hands. Let me get my hands on this. So yeah, I definitely I agree with Prater there. Just look at the top. Not even. I mean, look at those creators on that leaderboard and you know, start diving in. Take some notes.
One thing I wanted to mention is like I just literally posted the other day, like tag me in your content. If you're making content, tag me. You know, my Twitter's right there, right? Like I'm pointing at it right there. So tag me if you want to follow anybody on here. If you're not following already, make sure to keep up with this because this is going to be like where the alpha is. But definitely tag us in your content. If it's good content, I'm gonna comment. I'm gonna retweet. Like if it's like killer content, I'm like this is good stuff. Let me do something about it. So like make sure that you are following the community. Like this is we're working with like supporting the community. So like this is how we're starting, right? Like this is where I'm at. If you have some good content that's just not getting any kind of engagement, just give me a tag and then see like if you put some hard work into it, I'm going to show you some love for sure. And then coming back to the whitelist, I know a lot of people are whitelist. I think Crypto Texan in the Telegram chat, and if you're not joining the Telegram chat, you know what's going on. I don't even have a link for it. That's horrible for me, but if someone has a link, find it for me, put him in the private chat. But I think we had like 150,000 signups on there, and I was like, there ain't even 150,000 people in this Telegram. So, you know, I wrote a script to like filter all that out, right? Like to make sure that this is not a brand new wallet. You know, obviously it was definitely like I can't even think of the term right now. We anti.
That was
Wait.
me earlier. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Sybil. It was Sybil
Okay,
attack.
there you go.
I was like, not on stream. So like I went through and see who had a balance, who was actually using Katana, who has a balance on Katana, who has a balance on mainnet, you know, or any other chain, right? So like I went there and cleaned up, and out of like the 150,000 wallets, I think I was able to filter out 100 and something thousand out of like
Wow.
Sybil's on there. Yeah, I took the time to do that. So like, yeah, don't waste your time sibling. Like actually put in some work and like do some community stuff because I'm petty. So I will like make script and spend time to like filter out all the nonsense to truly reward those that are actually supporting the community, that are actually using Katana or that are curious about Katana, right? If you're curious, let me handhold you in there. So yeah, you know, Eric just popped that in there.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to join the Telegram on there, you can copy and paste it, or just kind of for those that are watching the stream a little bit later, definitely join the community channel on there and see what's happening on Katana. You know, you can see the announcements and everything on there as well. So I think we covered a lot of stuff, but coming into next year, 2026, there's a lot of big things happening, right? We have, you know, the V1 just launched, which I'll be covering with Will on Monday. We have the NFTs that'll probably sometime next year. I don't know the exact date, but probably first quarter. What else is next, guys? What else do you have plans for 2026?
I mean, I myself, I feel like I just talk about it too much. Is that NFT, man? I want to see the art. I want to, you know, I actually want to earn some yield on it. Like I said, this would be the first time that I actually get something out of the project, other than like you know, promises and an empty wallet at the end of the day. But yesterday I was kind of taking a look at like the ecosystem tab in the app, and I'm kind of just exploring everything right now, kind of just you know, getting familiar with everything that's going on in Katana. So that ecosystem tab has been like my best friend these past couple of days. I mean, I've always kind of just looked around at everything, but that ecosystem tab has really been my friend. I was going around. I forgot where it is. There's a pet that you can mint, and I've been, you know, just doing little transactions to make him happy. But I'll try to I'll find that here again, because I was messing around with that yesterday, and like I said, I'm really just excited for the NFT mint and see how everything goes. But that's me on my side, and just seeing how the community further like builds out from there, and see how the community sentiment builds out from there. And yeah, man, looking forward to seeing Cat Liquid as well. It's gonna be huge. I feel like there's so much stuff going on next year, man.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, Ilias hit it right on the head. I was kind of alluding to it, but yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
token releases.
Yeah,
it,
I was
it will be liquid.
I was about to say that because, well, I'm not the biggest NFT fan, frankly speaking, but this is the one I'm excited about because it has DeFi mechanics, and this might be the NFT that I'm not gonna disregard. So yeah, I'm excited to see the art because I like the Japanese art and the whole Katana art, and the shirt that Billy is wearing, which has a nice print from the
there we go.
behind. But yeah, the main thing for me for 2026 is obviously the cat token, to see when it goes live with all the VCAT and AVCAT mechanics and how they play out on practice. I'm gonna try to play around with the best yield bearing strategies with all these mechanics that are there, because if you have such complex mechanics, there's always yield arbitrage opportunity, and there's always a possibility to get higher yield than what you have on the market. So that's really what something I'm looking into, how everything that Aragon cooked for VCAT goes live, how it plays out when it's live. And yeah, that's obviously the main thing we're waiting. It's gonna be on February 20 or possibly earlier. So the most is like the latest date is like 2 months from now. So it's really close. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I want to see it like go live. I want to see how we have a theory of what cat will do, and then we're gonna see what people actually do with cat, right? Like you can make a controller or a mouse, and most people are like, oh, they're gonna go back and forth, and there's gonna be someone that picks it up, right? Like, what are you doing? So I want to see exactly what people do with like the cat, and we have different versions. We have cat, then we have the vesting cat, so VE cat, and then we have AV cat, which is an auto vesting cat, which actually earns yield for you, so you don't actually have to like do all the work. So that's going to be a very interesting to, yeah, like that's February 20th is the last date. So like if you are yield farming and you are looking for opportunities, February 20th, is gonna, when you're running your strategies or you're running these crazy APY campaigns, that's when you're gonna be able to like make some moves on there. So by February 20th, that's on the website. We're not like spilling the beans or anything. That's literally on the website, on there.
That's
So
on the contract,
yeah,
actually.
it's literally on the smart contract. By February 20th, it's happening. If we're ready or not, it's happening. So really quick question, like referring to the unreleased missions of the Katana app, is that like part of the earn or is that something else?
Hey, the one I was talking about is Copet.xyz. That's the I can't. I was trying to share my screen here, but I'm not getting a secure connection to the website. I just keep getting errors right now. But it looks like a little. It legit looks like a little Gengar, like from Pokemon, and you kind of it's sad or happy, and you kind of just do it. It goes based off of your transactions on Katana. But I am excited for in-app quest though. I am excited for in-app quest.
Yeah, there's man, there is so much happening, right? Like I know a lot of people are waiting for a perp stacks to run strategies on Katana. I mean, YTPT tokens, I think is going to be a very important course because I think a lot of people are not capitalizing on that opportunity. People, again, like when I add PT in front of PT, YV, VB, USDC, people go like, what? Right? So that's definitely going to be coming on the DeFi series of like how this all works. And I'm trying to do it in plain, simple English of like, getting static yield, or if you're a little bit more of a gambler, going to the yield token. But these things are all kind of like coming live in the next quarter, right before the VCAT launch. So there's going to be like NFT, there's going to be perps, there's going to be cat, and this is all going to happen all in the first quarter. So it's going to be super busy. And so like if this is something that excites you as a developer, or you're curious as a developer, we have like a special K repo that has stuff that you can use your AI with and start experimenting with things that you can build up. I feel like there's kind of like a small DeFi reset, right, in Katana, because in Ethereum or any other change, you're kind of like building sideways in a sense where you have to build your own liquidity, you have to like build your own kind of ecosystem in order to survive. With Katana, we are very opinionated, so like we are building on top of Morphle, we are building on top of Sushi, so you can kind of build up, and so your thinking has to be slightly adjusted. Yes, you can build sideways, but you can also build up on as well, and then get access to the deep liquidity on there. So if that's something that kind of sparks your candle, or it's kind of interesting, DM me. There's my Twitter. I'm pretty responsive on there. That's also my Telegram too. So definitely give me a message if it's something that interests you at all, or just kind of curious about it. Come play on our Bokotu testnet. I'll give you some tokens. I'll get you up and running. It's got like already pre-built in like deployments, so you can just experiment with stuff. Or if you want to do the special K repo, I have a video on my timeline that kind of breaks down like how you can use AI to like come up with ideas with existing DeFi platforms, and mess around with it. So if you are a VS coder, or if you are a, what is it, not Cloud Code, the other one, Cursor. I don't use Cursor, I use VS Code, I know. But yeah, if you are just kind of like a vibe coder, mess around with it too. So like, if you need help with that, I'm your guy, right? I am the developer. I'm the sole developer. I'm working overtime on here. So just to make sure like you just get to have a good experience building or messing around with it. And then if you are just curious about DeFi, go into the Discord. There is tons of channels there for people to ask questions. And then Eric and Praetor are there to help you answer your questions. And how many troubleshooting tickets do you guys have? That's got to be insane, handling that Discord. Like what is like how many questions you answer a day?
I think Prater would have a little bit more information on that, but it's usually not too crazy. We also have Barnaba I was gonna dox him. Okatu Kid, right? Yeah, we got Okatu Kid on and the Discord as well, that are mods that help out a lot. But as far as number of tickets, how many would you say, Prater? I feel like we get mostly maybe about 5 to 10 during our own shifts. I don't know. Would you agree with that?
That's been the case recently. We don't have a lot of tickets because we don't have a lot of issues. So our server has not been advertised on the website or on socials. It was like a place you go for support. So if there are not a lot of problems with Katana, or not a lot of people with questions, there are not a lot of tickets and activity. But I was happy to see a lot of DeFi questions recently. So people come and ask, hey, I have ETH deposited on Yearn. What happens if I deposit it on Spectra LP? Do I reset the 90-day timer or no? And then there are people coming asking about the CAT tokens on Merkle and how many times a week it's updating, what's the schedule, when can they expect the rewards, how they can claim the rewards on the Katana app. So mostly DeFi or this kind of smaller questions that do not need tickets for. So the vibe on the server has been pretty chill. Just people coming, talking about DeFi, and not a lot of tickets answering Billy's question. So meeting the app is working great. So it's a good news for our team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think more people are kind of like talking strategies or different opportunities on there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of also an alpha chat too, right? Like if you are curious about like, okay, I'm so like, it drives me crazy when someone's, oh, I'm just going to deposit these USDC and like make 3% yield. I'm like, bro, you're killing me, man. Like it's, you could just cash that out and put it in like a high yield savings in cash and earn like 4.5%. Like just without even having the risk of anything with crypto. Like it's not worth the risk. So like, don't even mess with it. So you got to find this alpha. You got to see where these opportunities are. Check out the Discord, check out the community chats, and you're going to start learning. If you're around it, I think people are pretty nice. I think overall, like I think it's a good vibe. You're meeting the community guys, right? You're meeting Eric, you're meeting Praetor. They're pretty nice guys. I think so. We have a good time.
Yeah, there are people with no background.
Yeah.
They just read posts on Twitter and do looping on Morpho, and they come to us and hey, asking how to unloop because they've never done it. And we just go through their transaction history and tell them step by step how to unloop, how much to unloop in each step. So if you have any questions about things that you feel like you're stuck or you're not sure how to deposit or withdraw, like feel free to come to Discord. We're really happy to hear more this kind of questions, because regarding tickets, we've been having a lot of tickets from people wanting to partner, or some creators asking for VL, like whitelist giveaways. But we'd like to see more people talking about DeFi, asking questions, so that And yeah, I was disregarding the tickets, not counting in the amounts, the tickets about the partnerships or just people asking for a job or for some whitelist collaboration. But if you count them into, yeah, you have like a lot of tickets, to be honest, if you count the weekly count. But as for people with issues, etc., not so much, which is good
That's
to hear.
true.
So yeah, definitely, if you have any DeFi questions, there's something on Katana you don't understand, how the vaults work, what are the underlying strategies, or what you should do on practice to secure the yield and how you can withdraw, just feel free to come to Discord and ask any questions you have.
100%. DeFi is scary, especially when you first start. Like, I don't want to lose my money, right? With clicking the wrong click, right? We're always nervous. I mean, there was an era in like 2021 where like people said, don't even connect your wallet to a website, right? So
Yeah.
we're trying to get from there to like, hey, deposit all your money in this account, and then get things going. So it is definitely scary. When I was doing it, like just doing transactions in the very beginning, I didn't have anybody to ask. I didn't even know where I could ask these questions, right? So knowing that you have Katana as a Discord and that there's cool people that are willing to help you out. Yeah, we see tutorials. Like I see tutorials all the time, how to loop in, but then people are like, all right, I'm in. How do I get out? Right. So like we're missing half the tutorial. Right. So yeah, definitely check out the Discord. Check out katana.network. Right. Let me just like, this is what we're talking about this whole time is like, check out katana.network. Right. I even added the www in front of it for the people that are not web friendly, but check it out. We have the new app. It should be theoretically, hopefully self-explanatory, but if you're absolutely stuck, you know where to go.
Yep.
If you see Big Boy, you see Praetor, just say what's up. You see Barnabas, he throws some shout out too. Just say what's up, and like I think we're all kind of like the point of doing this whole stream is like meeting the community, meeting the members, letting you know like we're not like these mysterious people that you can't say hello to. Just if you just want to pop in and say hi, we'll say hi back, right? You want to tag me somewhere and say hi, yeah, we can have a conversation. You want to talk martial arts? I'll talk about that all day long. Yeah. You want to watch the UFC stream together? Invite me, man. I don't want to pay per view. Let me know. Yeah. So it was fun, and then we're going to be doing this for a little bit through December. I think during Christmas week we are not, because everybody's going to be traveling, doing their thing. Nobody wants to watch us on stream, opening presents. So, this Monday, it's going to be, we're talking about the V1 app, what you can do with the V1 app, what your interface is. I'll see if I'll do my stream and throw some money in or see how Will does it. But, I do real money like that. That's why it's scary. Like when I do play scenarios, I'm like, okay, that's great. But what about when I do it for real? So I'd rather do it for real, show you how it works and, get you comfortable with the interface. And if you have any questions, feel free to do stuff. And again, make sure to follow everybody on here. We're all part of the Katana team. We're all, again, pretty nice. And if you have any questions for general usage, definitely hit up the Discord or hit the Telegram community. If you have any developer questions or any developer interest, hit me up. I'm your sole, concierge of anything dev. And so, yeah, any final words before we close up the shop?
I just wanted to say, like, I mean, somebody just commented, Mood Diary just said, this is fun. Like, I think this was a cool thing that you got going on, and it's gonna be cool, like having Will on Monday. So that way people just get to know the team, but get to see that the real people are out here working on this. And it also builds that trust, and that's one of the things that also built my trust with like Katana, with DeFi. Because it was you just know who's behind it. Polygon, GSR, the backers. It made me more confident to be like, okay, I can deposit my money in this and I can learn about it a little bit more. Before I was scared. I didn't want to connect my wallet to these DeFi apps. I didn't know nothing. I was lost. And now this app has made it super easy. As somebody who's a collector, a community guy who's starting to learn about this, Katana is really making it easy. So if you guys are, interested in it, you guys haven't, dived too deep into it, I highly recommend it. If you guys got questions, like, Billy Jitsu just set up here, ask them. That's the only way you're going to learn. Hit up the Telegram, hit up the Discord. And if I don't have the questions, well, we got Prater. We got other people out here that we could, refer these questions to, and we'll get you sorted.
Yeah, I would just agree with everyone and say, as I mentioned, the team is very open, both on Twitter and on Discord. You can come and ask any questions. We have people asking simple questions and more complicated questions like what's the underlying strategy of yearn walls? What's the exact contract of the yield? What's the strategy on the morpho that you're using? And we're answering them. We're sending the contracts. We're telling them, hey, the ETH pool is mostly using the Rob stake Ethereum and Ethereum market and morpho. Like, we're sending all the links, all the contracts. So any kind of question you have, whether it's high level or like newbie level, feel free to ask on Twitter, tag the community, or better to come to Discord, and we'll definitely have an answer for you for any question.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's your questions help me design the DeFi series, right? Like, oh, I didn't think of that, or I didn't think of this. So like the more questions you ask, the more things you bring up. And just like you said, like even just chatting here, you need to write how to get out of looping, right? Like everybody's writing the first part, but no one's writing the second part. So big love on that to have more tutorials, and tag us in there, right? Even if it's wrong, we'll correct it, and that way you have an engagement, right? So like just give it a shot of like your approach to certain things, and just give it out. So with that, we're going to kind of end it to the stream. It was super nice to chat with you guys. It was fun, very chill vibe. This kind of like the community vibe that we're going with right now. Again, stay tuned for Monday. We'll be coming up. That's Monday. I don't know, 22nd. I don't even know what day it is, right? Holidays are insane. Yeah. And catch you soon, and then just say what's up on the Discord or the Telegram chat, man. If anything, just tag me. All right, guys. Catch you later. Peace.